Welcome to another non-stop, all-singing, all-dancing episode of Fearless TV, the program constructed from genuine 100% recycled non-toxic plastic. Coming up in the next fluid half hour, we hop on board for an altitude ride to the home of carving bliss. We'll check out the standard of inline skating and another blast on the mountain bikes. All this and numbers backwards from 1 to 10 on Fearless TV. With the increase in profile of inline skating in the last 5 years, mainly in the aggressive or street and vert areas, many more competitions have developed into high-profile national events. The Australian skate titles were held south of Sydney recently at a purpose-built street course incorporating a vert ramp, rails, fun boxes and all the general mayhem required to keep skaters on the edge and looking for bigger and more difficult drop-ins. The 2 days of organised competition began and continued in blazing sunshine. Excellent work for the spectators, but the increased temperatures heating the metal vert ramp and cement bowls to a steaming 40-odd degrees. Apart from the odd blister and mild sunstroke, all skaters took it in their stride. The first day's official competition began on Saturday morning with the Junior Division Street Skate. And after much hardcore attitude displayed in the warm-ups, the cream of Australia's younger skaters had a chance to show their stuff and rip up the course with some serious moves. Apart from attracting major sponsors such as Roche's, with World Team Manager and Development Officer Francesco Mattioli in attendance scouting for new riders, the event serves as an excellent opportunity to showcase some of the country's finest skating talent, with competitors as young as 10 years old ripping up the street course, pulling off huge 720s, flat spins and 540s at every opportunity, along with some highly technical grinds. All skaters in the street event are judged over 45-second runs with the emphasis on style, creativity, lines and consistency. Let's get a little dirty as we take in some South Island mountain bike competition. Most events these days are designed to separate the recreational riders from your more serious downhill warriors, and in doing so serves an excellent test of both riders' skill and equipment capabilities. Here's some highlights from the various stages. Time now to take a look at what has become almost a mandatory decision for the serious snowboarder, heliboarding. The percentage of snowboarders in relation to skiers using the mountain has changed so dramatically in recent years, it is now at a point where a 50-50 ratio is almost a daily occurrence. And with the lift lines getting longer and longer at most resorts, more and more precious time is wasted standing in queues rather than shredding up the powder. One of the most effective ways, along with hiking to extreme zones on foot to avoid this mess, is to fork out a little hard-earned cash and have some professionals fly into the untracked areas of your favourite peak. Along with some expert advice on the best skiable terrain in the area, charter companies provide their own guide to survey the snow mass ahead and steer off-piste skiers away from possible danger or assist should an accident occur. Very rarely do you get to ride crystalline waves of metres deep powder on a wind-blown ridge and not wake up standing on the quilt. That's why this guy deserves our Fearless TV Play of the Day. For those who've never experienced flight in its many forms, which accounts for the majority of the population not dependent on chemicals, hang gliding is one of the purest forms of relaxation there is. That is, once the takeoff and landing procedures have been mastered, the thermals taken into account and the equipment fully checked. Once among the air currents with the fresh mountain air blowing through your ears, all that remains is to take in the view and manoeuvre the glider to take maximum advantage of the naturally provided lift.
should not be wasting time wondering why you lost your mind or vision.
Let's head back out with the surf for a few smaller waves to wind up the day. No matter how small the surf is, as long as it's large enough to be ridden, the same principles of surfing apply. And while the rush of dropping down a 40-foot face is probably slightly more charged than on a day like today, the same feeling of oneness with the elements still applies to a smaller degree. Just for a change of pace, and after many demands from the more mellow members of the audience, we thought it was time to bring you some not-so-wild water. Although in a sense the open ocean is probably as wild as water gets. After a nice calming boat ride to a suitable gathering point, it's time to join our friends, the most intelligent mammals in the big blue, the dolphins. While the ability to communicate through sonar is not prevalent in humans, the benefits apart from the exercise to the dolphins will never be fully understood, and the result on humans is far more therapeutic than a handful of aspirins.